everyone, Josh here with X's bringing you all another Outer Plane video, and today we're going to be talking about things that are going to be coming very soon that a lot of people just are not talking a whole lot about, and it might be very important to you because there might be, some resources that you might want to start stockpiling right now in preparation of these things to come. So if you look here at our Outer Plane update roadmap that they gave us, several weeks ago, they showed us things that they were going to be dropping in June, July, and of course August, which will be coming very soon. They also have planned for improvements. A lot of those things have already dropped in the game. We still do not have gear presets. Cross your fingers. Hopefully those are coming in the next update, whenever that may be, because we really need those. But we already talked about a couple days ago about the new hero that's coming, Nadia, and what she could potentially be element-wise. Well, we have a little bit more clues into that as well, on top of some big things that are coming that, again, you might want to start preparing for right now, at least as best as you can, especially if you're free to play. So we have Nadia coming probably next week, the August 1st, August 2nd update. That should be Nadia. And then Asti, if that is how her name is, pronounced, I could be butchering that. We'll have to, kind of reassess that later on. But so we have Nadia and we have Asti coming in August. Those will be the two new heroes we're going to be getting. We have Guild Raid Season 3. That'll be starting as well. Hopefully we have gear presets before that happens. Event story. Off to the summer camp, Gardener of a Forgotten Paradise. Now, we are just about ready to wrap up Summer Island. I'm assuming they're going to probably do the same thing that they did with Summer Island with the new Gardener of a Forgotten Paradise by making it a 3-part thing where they drop content for 1 week, and then the second week, and then the third week to kind of stretch it out. That might be the new trend here with the new event side stories. We'll have to see. But this is really the meat and potatoes of today's video and what we're really here for. The addition of light and dark element in special request. Now, they did not say identification or ecology. This makes me think that we're going to be getting not just 2 new dungeons, but 4, because we'll need 2 for the light and dark for the weapons and accessories, and then we're gonna need 2 more for the gear dungeon. So that is potentially 4 new dungeons that we're going to be able to farm. Now, if you guys and gals have been paying attention, they've been really trying to push for these mono teams using stage 11 and 12s of these gear dungeons to really push that, hey, you need to run a mono team because you're going to be getting hit very hard if you don't. A lot of these boss mechanics are built around you running a mono team. Plus, you want to try and make as much use of your CP as you can. And you're going to get a lot of CP if you're running a full mono team. You get something like 8 CP every single time your unit takes a turn if you're running a mono team. So you're going to be able to do a lot more of your chain skills and burst these units down. And that's something that you're going to want to do, especially if you're trying to get a 3-star clear with these new turn restrictions. So that to me is a lot of big stuff there that we're going to have to deal with, because we don't really right now at this time have like super strong light or dark teams. And we'll get into that in a moment. We'll jump into the game and talk more about that. We're also, of course, getting the addition of hard difficulty in the Skyward Tower. Who knows what the final floor reward could be for there? It's going to be gems. Is it going to be shards? Is it going to be a new hero? Is it going to be another Sigma? I hope not. And then we're getting start of Season 2 Part 1. Now, keep in mind, it says Part 1. It does not just say Season 2 of story, because right now, if you go into adventure mode, we have 10 chapters of story, which means, in theory, if they did a Season 2, it would be chapters 11 through 20. But since it says Part 1, it could be maybe just 11 to 14. And the reason why I think that is because if they showed us the 20th chapter, we're going to know what the next premium unit will be, because right now it's Demiurge Stella. So they don't want to spoil us on what the next hero will be in the premium banner until Stella is gone and we're at that point in the game where we're ready to see that and see what the skills and the type of element the hero will be and all that other good stuff. Because they could they could release that chapter 20 boss right now, and then it could be a completely different element still when we actually are able to pull for that hero with a completely different skill set, kind of like they did with Stella and Sigma, where both those heroes are very different from their boss versions when we're actually able to get them. And then even in Stella's case, she's not even a dark hero, she's a light hero. So they could definitely do a lot of curveballs like that. But yeah, I think they just don't want to spoil us on what that next hero will be yet. So they're only going to give us part 1. So I just thought that was something that we didn't really break down a lot and a lot of people may have overlooked. But yeah, that's some important stuff that's coming in August. And again, a lot of this could be dropping literally in the next patch update. Obviously, we're not going to be getting Asti. We'll have to wait till the Nadia banner goes away. But this makes me feel that there's a good chance, a high chance, that at least one of the Nadia or Asti will be a light or dark hero, or potentially both of them will be a light and dark hero. Nadia could be light or dark. Asti could be light or dark. We could see that because, like I said, we do not have a very strong light or dark comp right now, like we do with like the water team and the fire team, even to an extent the earth team. The earth team is still a bit lacking as well, so I could also see Nadia or Asti even being earth, just to kind of fill that team out a little bit more too. But yeah, we are really lacking in light and dark heroes. So let's go ahead and jump into the game real quick now that we've kind of broke that all down. Okay, so we're into the game. Let's go up here to the codex, right? Because I'm going to show you guys and gals a visual, depiction of what I'm saying here. So if we go to light and dark, you'll see that we have 6 dark heroes right now currently. We have Sigma, Eliza, Maxwell, Philia, Francesca, and Vera. That is it. That is our dark roster right now. We don't have a dark healer. We barely even have any dark supports. And that's if you want to loosely consider Eliza's support just because of the way that her kit works. She's more of a support for just Francesca, really, or Beth, who's a completely different element. Okay? Maxwell, he's going to be really good if you're running like a mono mage team. We only have one other mage in dark, and that is Philia. So we don't really have too much to work with here, and Shock is just a terrible debuff. So Sigma and Philia both will work good together with getting Shocks off, which will allow Philia to start to stun a little bit more often. The problem is, again, the Shock debuff is just not very good. It's not a good dot, right? So we basically have 2 Shockers, we have 2 bleed heroes, then we have a pure AoE that buffs mages, but we only have 1 mage, and then we have Vera, who's basically a mini Noah. So that's what we have to deal with here. The only I'd say the only bright spot of this current roster for the dark heroes is Francesca will hit it, very, very hard. She's a strong single target damage dealer. So in any kind of boss fight where you're going to be wanting to run a mono dark, she is going to be very, very good there. Okay? Sigma does have some levels of priority push, but in a boss fight, it's going to be very bad because it's only going to be 1 target, mostly. Unless they have, minions or mobs to deal with, then that might help a little bit, but it's a small priority push anyways, even at that point. So again, the dark team is not looking too good. We really are missing some pieces here. Okay, we really need a support or a healer for the dark team to really kind of level that team off, or round that team off rather. And if we go over here to the light, I would say the light might actually be in a little bit better of a position, because Leo and both Stellas and Fanon, that's a pretty solid team, honestly, because at least you have some healing, some ability to, to deal with debuffs. You also have Leo that's also providing you with a lot of tanky stats, damage mitigation with giving you shields. He's giving you damage immunity. He's also, of course, providing you with the evasion up, so you can get some more evasions, possibly. More misses, so you're taking less damage. So at least the light team, I feel, is in a little bit of a better position for any kind of like mono teams than the dark team. The dark team is definitely, in my opinion, probably the worst team right now in the game in terms of team synergy and, just overall usability. I just think it's lacking something major. They don't really have a true unit in there that can kind of come in and do something like what a Leo can or a Fanon can. They're really missing that aspect of the team right now. That's what they need. Okay? So hopefully, we'll be able to address that sooner than later. But yeah, both Stellas, I mean, that's all the DPS you're going to need right there. I mean, you're going to get plenty of DPS priority push there with the normal light Stella. The other Stella just saying, you know, the hell with your debuffs. I'm going to keep countering, doing a lot of damage. Again, Leo for damage mitigation. Fan in there as, you know, a healer for you as well. Also providing you other ways to deal with debuffs. So that team, honestly, isn't too bad. Even if you don't have both Stellas, you only have one, especially the new one, you could run Ava, and it's still a pretty well-rounded team. Not top tier by any means, but again, it's still enough. But here's a big concern. Not a lot of you players out there, especially free-to-plays, are going to have a Leo and a Stella, right? And that's going to really, really cripple you. Now you're going to have to run an off-element unit to round out that team in those particular light and dark stages when you're trying to do stage 11 and 12s. So you're going to have a lot of problems there. I'm also seeing some issues with, you know, being able to, you know, get enough damage out to possibly 3-star clear these light and dark stages at that point as well. I feel like, I don't know if we're going to be doing enough damage fast enough, because that's one good thing about the blue team, the red team, and even to an extent the green team. They have a lot of capabilities of being able to burst things down extremely fast. I don't know if we have that really with the light team at all. The dark team, you might be able to make a case for it because, again, Francesca does do a lot of single target damage, especially if you're pairing her up with Eliza. So you might be able to pull that together. And if you put enough attack stats into maybe Philia or Vera, you might be able to get that as well. But again, is this team going to be able to survive because they don't have a proper support or any way to really give you damage mitigation? So, you know, that's just the issues that I'm having right now. I mean, simply put, TLDR, we just do not have enough light and dark units to go around to, you know, to really build up a proper mono team. So hopefully we won't need a mono team of either, of either or to do those new stages. But it's definitely something to think about because, you know, we definitely need more light and dark units. So Smilegate, VA Games, get us more light and dark units, please. Please. Bring us some more 2-star heroes as well, okay? So that's pretty much the roster there for those two. Now let me go to the actual dungeons themselves. So if we go in here to challenge, you'll see that we have special request identification and ecology study. Now on that roadmap, they just said special request. That's why I'm assuming, you know, sometimes assumptions aren't good, but I'm assuming here that that means they're going to be adding a light and dark stage to both armor and weapon and accessories, because that would be, you know, that would make the most sense. And if that happens, that means some big things are coming. Because if you go into armor, as you can see here, I don't really farm the newer stages as much because I don't see the point that often because I'm not using 2x skip tickets. That's ridiculous. I hope that they make that change and revert that back to just one like the other stages. Until then, I'm just probably not going to bother with them very often. And I'm sure a lot of people are in the same boat. I just don't see the point. The only one that I do like to do on 11 and 12 is the Tyrant Toddler, because he's pretty easy for me with the team that I have set up, because I just let him kill himself. So I can actually auto that in like 4 or 5 minutes. So that one I don't mind, because then I don't need to really use skip tickets. But for the other two, definitely, and it's just not worth it using 2x skip tickets. But anyways, that's a rant for another video. Let's move on. So if you go into these dungeons, you'll see here that all these dungeons have 4 different sets of gear. Like, for example, we go in here, we have the attack set, okay? And then we have the crit set. And then we have the evasion set. And then all the way down here, we have the effectiveness set. And it's going to be like that for all 3 of these dungeons. There's going to be, you know, 4 sets of gear, 4 sets of gear, 4 sets of gear. So 12 in total. Plus we also have the AP set that's only exclusive to Arena, which might come in one of the new light or dark dungeons. So you might be able to start farming up a 6-star AP set. Now imagine that. That could be pretty interesting, depending on what type of setup you have in Arena. Okay, so that could be some fun. But that's only going to be 1 set. We still need to make up at least 7 more. Because as I just said, there's 4 in each dungeon. And if they keep with that for the new dungeons, and we are indeed getting a light and dark for the gear dungeons here, that's going to be another, 4 sets of gear, and then another 4 sets of gear for a total of 8. We just talked about the AP set. That could be one of those 8. That leaves 7 more. Some of those gear sets could be extremely powerful. They could be meta changing. They could be more PvE oriented. They could be more PvP oriented. Like imagine a, we don't really need it, but we could have an immunity set where you just get immunity at the beginning of the fight and you can't be hit with nothing. Now, we don't really need that much in this game. Could be useful in maybe some PvE stages, but in this game, we don't really need that because obviously we have Tio, we have the new Stella. We have a lot of different ways to kind of deal with that in PvP. It's kind of like an anti-debuff meta anyways. But that could be one of the sets. Another set could be, you start with a shield based on, so-and-so amount of your HP at the beginning of the fight. So you could have a shield set that lasts for like 1 or 2 turns at the beginning of the fight. That could be extremely tilty for some heroes out there, especially in this newer stall meta. Especially now that Mine is available in the game. A lot of people are starting to now utilize Leos. So you're starting to see him a lot. You have Hannibal Lees, you've got Sirens, you've got Tios. You got a lot of these tilty comps that are being built. Something like that would be pretty disgusting. So that's another possibility. And then, then whatever other ones that you could possibly, come up with. Let me know what kind of gear sets that you would like to see in the comment section below. I think that could be a lot of fun. So let me know. So there's that. And then if we go over here to the actual identification, same situation. If you come in here, you have 4 different stats that are being represented on the necklaces, for example. And then you do that, across the board with all 3 of these dungeons, which means we could start getting some new main stat. Who knows? I almost said percentages, but I had to hold myself because not all of them are percentages. So we could get some new main stats, which could be very interesting. So there's some stats out there that we may not have that we might be able to start getting, which would be kind of insane. They could even make up new ones, like healing received, healing given. Make your healers heal for more. Make the units that get healed for more. There's some other things that they could do as well. Like it could be very, very interesting. And that's not it as well. On the actual weapons and the necklaces, we have these skills here for any of the legendary gear. So you can see here, we got these different skills that we have for each individual class of hero. Okay, so we could be getting new skills as well. So there's lots of possibilities here. But the big thing is, especially if you're free to play, you're going to have to be building these sets up from scratch because you're going to be farming them for the first time ever when they are, of course, released. Which means you're going to need plenty of skip tickets and plenty of stamina. And to get a lot of stamina, you're probably going to have to start stockpiling some gems. So if you are free to play and you want to play it safe and just to kind of see when these changes happen, what new sets of gear we're going to have, what new weapon skills we're going to have, and you might want to try, to jump in there and start farming some of this stuff up because it could be pretty powerful. It might be game changing. I don't know. But to be properly prepared for it, you might want to start stockpiling some gems as much as you can. You might want to cut back on using stamina for the next week or two. Because again, all these updates could be happening as early as next week. So you want to be prepared and you want to have skip tickets available in case you want to do a lot of farming. Okay. So I would just recommend try to start stockpiling some of your stuff right now, some of your resources, your gems, as much stamina you can get in your mailbox that'll last for a few days or has the unlimited tag on it. Try to get as much of that as you possibly can. Now, stamina is going to be a little bit harder because obviously a lot of it doesn't go to your mailbox. It goes straight there to your stamina. And obviously if you're capped on stamina, you're not going to get anything to recharge over that course of time. So that will not be wise. But again, if you can save as many gems as you can, save as many skip tickets as you can, and then prepare, I think that'd be better because then at least you can see, hey, these new sets of gear are really good. Maybe they're not so good. But it's good to be prepared because you don't want to not be prepared. And then these gear sets are amazing. These new skills and these weapons are amazing. And then you don't have the resources to really go in and farm them up yet. And then you'll have to wait and wait and wait. So, hey, instead of waiting, why don't we do the waiting right now? Why don't we do the preparation right now and get ready to go? because again, some of this stuff could be really good. It might not be. We'll have to wait and see, but it's not very far away from now. So I think it's worth just chilling, sitting back, and being patient. So that's going to be it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know it's a long video. There's just a lot of stuff that I really wanted to deep dive into and break down, because I feel like there's a lot of stuff on the horizon here with Outer Plane, because it's kind of been slowed down right now. And I understand a lot of people, especially myself, we're just sitting here waiting around and expecting some big things. So hopefully this is one of those big things, and we'll see how it pans out. But I just wanted to make sure you guys and gals understood kind of what to expect, the possibilities there, the potential there, the preparation that you might want to start working on right now. And yeah, so that's going to be it for me. If you guys think of any cool gear sets or skills or anything like that, let me know in the comment section below. I'll be sure to read as many as I can. I'm sure there's gonna be some fun ideas, but we'll see. That's gonna be it for me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, take notifications, join me in the Discord in the description below, and check out our second channel, Excess Media. We got a lot of videos over there. We're now over 20 videos over there, and we're over 150 subscribers. So thank you all so much for the support. We're doing a lot of cool things over there at Excess Media, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Excess Media. Until next time, peace.